But the grid is as follows. Kai Hunter and Charlie Turner make it an all-British front row. In row number 2, it's the two main title protagonists. Well, there is one on the front row, and that is Charlie Turner. Iljan Brunsils, who's second in the standings by just 3 points behind Clayton Ravenscroft in the 399. That's row 2. Dylan LaHaye and Manel Galofritona round out row number 3. Lewis Gilbert and Teddy Clinton, that's row 4. Reese Hunter and Leroy Jägersar, that is row 5. That's the top 10. And it's Andres Hebert, Guilherme de Oliveira, Kian Sang, Lorenzo Stolk, Sam Harrison, Storm Brewer, Ben Donkin, Christian Kuya, Alexander Luck and Victor Plateau that round out the top 20. And completing the 31 strong is Jason Lockwood in 21st, followed by Clémentine Benoit, Patrick Rundquist, Elias Kalin, Bram Ossivarde, Kieran Gifford, Rick Boothorn, Mick Knowlton, Hughes van de Candelara, Lera, I'm going to get that surname wrong right even if it kills me. Georgios Bersis and Marcus Radney, who was called to the stewards and looks to start from last on the grid, as Bersis didn't really get a qualifying lap, respective of his pace. So the top 10, it's Kai Hunter from Charlie Turner. It's Brit versus Brit, then it's Belgian versus Brit on row number 2 with Brunsils and Ravenscroft. Then it's Belgian versus Spain with Dylan LaHaye and Manel Galofritona. That's row number 3. Ahead of Lewis Gilbert, Teddy Clinton, Reese Hunter and Leroy Jägersar. So just going to wait for the top 2. So Hunter, for those watching on the screens at home, pole position is on the left-hand side of your screen. So it is Hunter versus Turner. That's Kai Hunter versus last year's British Super 1 Rotax champion, Charlie Turner. This could really, really be interesting very, very shortly, as they are now preparing. There are a few drivers that need to get into formation. Looks like we're going to have, hopefully, a clean start very, very shortly indeed. As they come round the final corner, they head towards the chicane, which will put them on the start-finish straight. The red lights are on the starting gantry. 10 minutes plus an additional lap. The Rotax Roar comes into play here. Do we go green? Full start called. Several drivers not reacting quickly enough, I believe, from around about row 4 onwards. So one side got left napping, so to speak. So what they will need to do is to slow things down considerably, get everyone back into formation. So second time of asking the top 10. Kai Hunter on pole position. Charlie Turner alongside on the front row. Iljan Brunsils, Clayton Ravenscroft, Dylan LaHaye, Manel Galofritona, Lewis Gilbert, Teddy Clinton, Reese Hunter, and Leroy Jägersar. That's the top 10. Hebel de Oliveira, Sang, Salk, Harrison, Breur, Donkin, Kuya, Luck, Plateau, Lockwood, Benoit, Rundquist, Kalin, Ossivarde, Gifford, Boothorn, Knowlton, Van de Candelara, Bersis and Radney. That is the 31 strong grid. They go back into the latter part of this second try at a full formation start. That is not going to be clean. Now, it needs to be that both Hunter and Turner need to control it. They've now started to do so. So they're really having to slow the field down. But there are some stragglers at the back, 5 or 6. Are we going to go lights out this time? Now, that's a... Oh! Now, that's a bit of a disaster there. We've had one driver pull off. That's the pole sitter. And that is another full start. So Kai Hunter, on the second time of asking, he was the one that pulled to the right-hand side. And he's not at all happy. Frustration for Kai Hunter after what was an incredible performance in qualifying. I don't know what happened there, but he's trying to push the kart back into the dummy grid. So that's the second full start. Oh, and we've got a problem for Charlie Turner as well. Both front row runners. That's turn 1. Charlie Turner out as well. So the 2 on the front. You know what this means? The 2 title protagonists will now take the front row of this grid. So 2 Dan Holland Racing drivers out That's the front row. Kai Hunter and Charlie Turner out before we've even got this properly underway here in the first of 4 Senior Max races. So this means Ilian Brunsils will be on pole position. Clayton Ravenscroft, the current points leader. It's 72 on points on the man for pole and 75 for the guy alongside. This could be very, very interesting to the title dynamic very shortly. But what a shame for both Kai Hunter and Charlie Turner. Do we go revs up and lights out? This time we do. Third time's a charm. As Dylan LaHaye trying to steal a march, but Clayton Ravenscroft keeps it planted. I tell you what, he was trying to go up the inside of Ilian Brunsils. It's 2 abreast going through. It's even 3 abreast at points. This is very, very close indeed. Now, who's that just got going? Now, there is a Dan Holland racing cart at the back of the field. Now, is that Kai Hunter? That is. So Kai Hunter rejoins. Whereas Charlie Turner is now on Marshall post number 2. That's a real shame for the Brit, but now it means that Brunsils is leading from Ravenscroft at the minute. Dylan LaHaye looks to be now in 3rd place, and behind will be the Spaniard of Manuel Galofretona. But this has really spiced things up as, well, that was a try from Ravenscroft, who nearly got swallowed up by Dylan LaHaye, who's trying to pull alongside the Brit. Meanwhile, the 3:03 of Reese Hunter has launched himself up the field to 5th place. And with him, I think he's got Galofretona. You should have Guilherme de Oliveira and Leroy Jägersar are in the mix now. So Jägersar now up into 7th position. He's trying to go past Galofretona, but can't get it through, can't get it stuck. Done through turn number 4 as Dylan LaHaye pounces and sweeps past Clayton Ravenscroft going through turn number 5 for 2nd place. There's more drama a little bit further back. You've got the likes of Jägersar. You've also got quite a few others involved that are trying to squabble for position, and this is for the lower part of the top 10. Oh no! More contact. Oh dearie me, that's not what we wanted. One cart has been struck on the outside of effectively what is turn number 9. 2 carts involved. Meanwhile, Brunsils trying to get away with it, but LaHaye is thinking otherwise and nearly puts it up the inside of his countryman from out of absolutely nowhere. Meanwhile, Reese Hunter just gets past Lewis Gilbert through turn number 2 for 4th place. And there's more changes of position. Looks like Storm Bro has just lost out to... that is Guilherme de Oliveira. So the Portuguese driver now getting a real motor on and gets past Storm Brouwer for what is effectively 7th position. Dylan LaHaye's gone for the lead and he's got it! He's got past Brunsils. Ravenscroft trying to force the issue going around the outside of turn 7. Sweeps in front of Kai Hunter. And I nearly lost my chain of thought there as Lewis Gilbert is right on the back part of that 4-cart squabble over 2nd place. But I tell you what, Ravenscroft came from absolutely nowhere to go past Brunsils for 2nd position. But no, it's side by side, the banging side pods. And Hunter's going to capitalise. Will he take the pair of them? Oh, it's nearly 3 wide going through turn 1. Oh, I had to blink there on that. My goodness me, Guilherme de Oliveira, you absolute maniacal Portuguese man of war. Where did that one come from? Could have gone around the outside of Leroy Jägersar for position. You wanted a classic, and I have to say, this is getting absolutely... This is like a... this is an all-out war here in Senior Max. 2 wide, 3 wide at points, even trying to go through turn number 4. And there's more drama going through into turn number 7. And, well, it looks like Lewis... Now, who is that driver that's been sort of hung out a bit to dry there? I know that one of the... there's a few other drivers in there. Teddy Clinton might be involved in that, as there is drama for a GKS Lemons power driver. Now, who is that? That could be, well, Sam Harrison's out, Charlie Turner's out, Bramwell Cevada and Victor Plateau are out as well. Meanwhile, Dylan LaHaye continues to lead, 1.339 seconds ahead of Clayton Ravenscroft. We've got 6 minutes plus an additional lap left in this first of 4 races, and it's turning to be an absolute classic here. Kian Sang is battling with Leroy Jägersar, who is absolutely fallen out from high, out of the top 10. Now running in 12th position is the Dutch driver, or maybe even make that 13th place, as Godfrey Torners now dropped into the last position of the top 10. Dylan LaHaye trying to break the momentum of Clayton Ravenscroft to take the win. But I do have to say the gap will be slightly extended between Ravenscroft. This will put him on 95 points if he keeps second position, but that depends on Reese Hunter. Storm Breuers now up into 6th position, past Lewis Gilbert. Andreas Herbert now up into 8th place. Ben Donkin, Teddy Clinton, Manel Godfrey Torner, they complete the top 11. Now where is, I'm just trying to see where Guilherme de Oliveira is. The Portuguese driver now is in 5th position and is trying to get more momentum to go forward. Bearing in mind, with the top 2 effectively running out, or being one being out, which is Charlie Turner. Really feel sorry for the guy, but I have to say, I'm just keeping an eye on Kai Hunter's progress. He's back up into 21st position. So whether he can get into the top 15 and at least score a couple of consolatory points is another matter. But the gaps now between first and second have extended, but Reese Hunter is closing. He took over a 1/10 of a second out of Clayton Ravenscroft on that last tour alone. It was a 55.282 for Ravenscroft, but Reese Hunter, closing down on him, took the fastest lap of this race with a 55.161. It's not over yet. I think Ravenscroft is going to have to fight tooth and nail with countryman Reese Hunter for that second place. Oh, and there's a contact a little bit further down the order. Now that was there was a persistence cart. Now, really couldn't make out who that was, but there is one driver that will definitely drop down the order quite significantly. Could that have been Leroy Jägersart? Not too sure. I'll find out very shortly. But Ravenscroft is feeling the pressure now as Reese Hunter really is trying to force the issue, trying to get past Ravenscroft for second place. Brunsils at the moment has a very, very quick Guilherme de Oliveira closing, and Guilherme de Oliveira took over 2.5 tenths of a second out of the Belgian on that last tour. So this could be really, really interesting. He's up from 12th into 5th. And Kieran Gifford dropped down into 27th place. So that may have been Kieran Gifford that was involved in that contact just off of turn number 7. So we're coming towards the final throws of this first, I have to say, very dramatic Senior Max race of the weekend. But it's Dylan LaHaye from Belgium leading on home soil here at Mariembourg. And the gap between himself and Clayton Ravenscroft is now 0.945 of a second. Ravenscroft took 6/100ths out of LaHaye on that last lap. And the slowest person out of the top 3 is Reese Hunter. So Hunter is trying to find a way past. Meanwhile, Brunsils could possibly have an issue with Guilherme de Oliveira, the Portuguese driver who's been racing in the Portuguese Rotax Championship, the Rotax Max Euro Trophy, has decided to come to the BNL and has really put the cat amongst the proverbial pigeons, one of which the pigeons is Ilian Brunsils, who's just a fraction ahead, probably no more than half a kart length at this particular moment. So we're about to complete lap number 9 here in this Senior Max race number 1 here. As Ravenscroft still fending off Reese Hunter. Hunter sends it up the inside of his countryman, and Ravenscroft straight back on the offensive, heading into turn 2, retakes the position, nice and clean. But I tell you what, Reese Hunter wanted that place back coming through the exit of it. But Ravenscroft was saying, oh no you don't, sunshine. So the 399 still keeping a hold on the lead, but there has been a 3-second penalty handed to the 375, and that is Lorenzo Stolk in 21st position. But Hunter is not giving up the ghost just yet. He's really keeping in touching distance with Clayton Ravenscroft for second. But this is allowing Dylan LaHaye to just pull away comfortably The gap last time was just over a second. It looks to be fractionally more than that as the battle for second rages on as Guilherme de Oliveira has got past Ilian Brunsils. And here comes Lewis Gilbert for close company on the Belgian. Gilbert got a better run coming out of turn 1. Might not make the move through turn number 2. Could he think of something up the inside of turn 3? Or maybe even... Ah, yes, there we go. Sends it from nowhere. Does Lewis Gilbert. Gets past Ilian Brunsils and then says, you know what's really interesting now? Guilherme de Oliveira is battling with Reese Hunter and Clayton Ravenscroft. This 2-horse race for second just became a 3-horse. No, maybe even make that a 5-horse race because you've got Ravenscroft, Reese Hunter, Guilherme de Oliveira, Lewis Gilbert and Ilian Brunsils. So this could be very exciting indeed. The final lap board's being prepared. So Dylan LaHaye will come out of the chicane to come onto the main start-finish straight to take the final lap board. 1.97 seconds. This is going to be very enticing. It's going to be a last lap battle royale for second position between 4 drivers. Looks like Brunsils is out of it at the moment. De Oliveira closes up on the back bumper of Reese Hunter. Lewis Gilbert there, looking menacing, as he always is, the Doride Diamond. But we'll just see what happens. I think Ravenscroft has now got to jump. Guilherme de Oliveira really trying to go gung-ho here on Reese Hunter. He's looking for a way past the Brit. It's not happening yet. So Dylan LaHaye really has been resolute. It was 3 seconds between first and second. Ravenscroft, I think, has just managed to break away from Reese Hunter, who has got 2 young chargers behind him in the form of Guilherme de Oliveira, who might get mugged by Lewis Gilbert. But I tell you what a win for GKS Lemons Power. Dylan LaHaye celebrates in style, winning the first Senior Max race of the day. Clayton Ravenscroft continues his points advantage ahead of Ilian Brunsils by finishing in second position. Reese Hunter started in 9th, finished in 3rd place ahead of Guilherme de Oliveira. Started in 12th, finished in 4th. Lewis Gilbert made up 2 positions. Ilian Brunsils could have had an opportunity of a lifetime to get one up on Clayton Ravenscroft, but this time he had to settle for 6th position. Storm Brewer, Teddy Clinton, Andreas Herbert and Ben Donkin round out the top 10 positions. Manel Galofri-Torna, who started in 6th, would end up in 11th position ahead of Kian Sang. Leroy Jägersar, Mick Knowlton. Good drive, as we always see. We like to see Mick Knowlton scything through the field from 28th to 14th place. Kai Hunter managed to make it up to the last of the points-paying positions, I believe, in 15th place. What a drive from the 395, having been on pole and having it snatched away. So, and then rounding it out would be Patrick Rundquist, Jason Lockwood, Clementine Benoit, Rick Boothorn, Christian Kuya, Georges Bersis recovering to 21st ahead of Lorenzo Stolk, Hughes van der Candelera, Elias Kalin from Sweden, Alexander Luck and Victor Plateau being the last of the 26 drivers that had confirmed as finished, with Marcus Radnik, Kieran Gifford, Bram Osivade, Sam Harrison and Charlie Turner not finishing the race.